Hey everybody, welcome back. I have a coloring video for you today. This book is called The Complete Color Harmony Pantone Edition, Expert Color Information for Professional Results. And this book, I have only had it for probably maybe 6 weeks or a little bit less. And I can tell you, sorry, you're going to hear my dog barking. We've got the normal chaos laundry dog's mama. I can tell you that this book has changed the way I color and is going to change the way, continue to change the way I color. And it's so helpful. I just really felt compelled that I wanted to do a video bringing it to you guys. So the way I discovered this book was, if you are in the Deborah Muller coloring group on Facebook, which I will link that in the description section below, Deborah posted a picture of this book and how she said this is a book that she uses to guide her to choose colors in her personal artwork, that she does. Because Deborah does a lot more than just coloring books. If you didn't know that, she does a lot of, art, that's outside of the coloring book realm, with watercolors especially, and a lot of mermaid stuff. It's gorgeous. Her work is absolutely gorgeous. But she said she uses this book to guide her a lot and help her when she feels like she needs to reach out of her comfort zone. She said that she told me she always reaches for blue and green, and she said she knows she needs to use other colors at times. So she uses this book, and this is a new edition of this book, and I think she said she'd had several copies of this over the years. So of course I bought it right away. I think it was $16.99 on Amazon. The back of the book says it is $26.99 US and $35.99 Canadian, $18.99 UK. But I think I paid $16.99 on Amazon for it. And I wish I could show you. Unfortunately, I don't feel comfortable showing you. The last two covers that I did for Deborah, I used this book as a guide for my color palette. And I never really do that. I usually just kind of grab stuff and go. I never have a plan. But I used this book, and I honestly think that they're two of the best colorings that I've done in maybe ever, or in a really long time. And I know that I think they're the best two covers that I have done for her. I do like the cover. I like all the covers I've done, but I really like the one for the Chubby Witches back in October. But these two, I think, are really nice. And I'm not somebody that says I'm a great colorist or anything. I could tell you on any given day, 50 colorists in the coloring community that I think are way better than me, maybe 100 or 200. But these last two that I did, I really feel I did look really nice. They look nice. And, but they haven't been published yet. I don't think they're going to be out until, March or April. So I don't feel comfortable showing what they look like until they've been published. So, but when they do come out, I will definitely post them and say that they are the ones that I used with this book as a guide. So what makes this book so helpful to me anyways is it's not just a color palette book. It's about mood and how moods can be conveyed with colors, or colors can set a mood. And it's just really, really, I never have seen anything like it. So I'm not going to go over every single page, but it does have it's like an intro to tell you what is color harmony, and there's several pages, and it's got beautiful pictures, and it talks about the phenomenon of color. But I mean, these pictures are so beautiful and vivid in here. A color conversation, defining the basic terminology. So it teaches you like hue, value, saturation, tint, tone, shading, palette, undertone, things like that. If you've seen those words but you're never really sure exactly what they mean, it has the definitions in there for you. And then here is a section on the color wheel, and explains all about the color wheel and like hot and warm colors and in between shades or what have you. Color compatibility, what's monotone, what is monochromatic, what is analogous, I can never say that word, analogous, and complementary, split complementary, triads, and I can't see, tetrads. So just like some basic housekeeping to teach you more about color and the terminology and the definitions. Here we've got complex colors, discord and dissonance, so like colors that you don't think would go together but do go together because they don't go together, which I know is confusing. And then it gets into the psychology of color and how certain colors are attached to certain emotions or mood. Like it talks about how yellow is attached to warmth and joy. Blue is like a comforting color because it's a presence that is there every day in the sky, and it's like a calming color for us. Orange is tangy and sweet, and it just kind of goes on to talk about different cultures and different things and in culture that correspond with the different colors. And then it starts to get into the colors themselves and what about each color, what the color signifies, what makes it up, how it's used. So we go through all, your red, blue, green. Isn't that beautiful? That's just gorgeous. And it goes through all the different colors. I love that picture too. That's in the orange, purple, white, neutral colors, grays, taupes and khakis, browns. And then it starts to get into color and mood. And talks about that. And that's when I really started to find this book helpful. So what this does now, the next huge section, is it breaks down palettes into certain types of moods. So like this one is delectable, and they show a picture of, it looks like gelato, the different flavors of gelato. And so color palettes that maybe you might want to use if you were coloring, or I'm saying this in terms of coloring, but any artist could do this. But like in coloring food, like desserts and sweets, or like candies, things like that. Anything that you think might be delicious or sweet and tangy. And then this one is for casual mood. It's got like the picture of the cozy socks and the fireplace. So all these different palettes that convey, relaxed kind of casual atmosphere. And what I thought was really interesting about this is because sometimes you look at a picture like in our coloring books, or that we print off of Etsy or whatever, and you can see what you want it to look like in your head, but you don't exactly know how to find what colors to pick. Or like you can look at a picture of whatever the subject might be, and you think, well, that looks like it would be dark and gloomy, or that looks like it would be bright and sunny, but you still don't exactly know where to go with your colors, and this really helps you. So this is like a botanicals, so greenery, different shades of greens and yellows with some blues in there. And then this is like delicate, these pastels. Venerable, which is, you know, like a kind of like old fashioned, or not necessarily old fashioned, but you know, like kind of like a timeless, like I always think of like a treasure chest or rich leather, or like a bookcase in an old library that has, you know, all this like rich, deep, saturated colors. Earthy, really helpful when we have our fall coloring books that come out. Everybody loves the fall coloring books. Here we have natural shades, and I don't know how to say that word, but these look like spices and fruits and things like that. Urban. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to bump the camera if I did. Nurturing. These are comforting colors, I think, here. Just really comforting little palettes. Tropical. I'm thinking of like what the Colderiva, as Anastasia Colderiva, she has that mermaid books, or Johanna Basford's got the Lost Ocean book. And here we have Subtle, which these are more muted tones. And then this one is Rich. So I actually used this one down here. I had written a little note to myself down here. And so what I did was, when I had decided I wanted to do one of the covers with this as my base. Now there were I needed more than 3 colors, but when I saw this, I could look at the other wheels, the other palettes around it, because, you know, all these pages of this, and I could pick colors that would go with this. So I think I used like basically 5 colors with different shades. And what I did was, because these are all Pantone colors, so if you're not familiar with what Pantone is, they do like color of the year, and they have like paint and things like that, and their colors are numbered. So what I did was, this palette that I picked here was it has 3 shades in it: Pantone 216, Pantone 5757, and 248. So I went online and I typed in those numbers, like Pantone 216, 5757, and 248, and I pulled them up to find out what the name of the shades were. And once I had the name of a shade, then I went into like my markers, which I laid down as a base. I went into my markers and found marker shades that corresponded like with the names of these colors, and I went from there. So even though these colors don't have names next to them, they have numbers attached to them, and you can look them up that way if you finding a name for the shade is helpful to you, which for me that was helpful. This one goes for playful. So these just have all these different types of moods or emotions attached to these palettes. Reliable. I don't want to spend forever going through all these. Transcendent, with the pretty sunset there, or sunrise maybe. Powerful. And notice, like on this page, there's just 2 shades for powerful, because a lot of times we do see that color blocking when you have like a power suit. I think of a power dress or a power suit in terms of fashion, like it's like black and red, black and blue, bold colors together, just very simple. Now these have, some of them have 3 shades in them. Here's romantic, provocative. I like this with your oranges and pinks and reds together. I really, really like that. Nostalgic. Now the other cover that I did that I really, really like, and actually I got a really nice compliment from Deborah when I showed it to her when I was finished with it. I was kind of nervous. I didn't know how she would like it. And she said to me that sometimes after so many books, covers can start to look the same. You use the same colors and everything. And this palette was different from any of the other covers that she has, and that was that was the ultimate compliment to me. I was so happy. So I used oh, you know what, it wasn't nostalgic, I'm sorry, it was a different one. It was timeless. So this is robust. Yeah, it wasn't nostalgic that I used. I apologize. This one is soothing. I don't know that word, but it looks like makeup. It's like makeup colors. Tribal. All these like palettes remind me of like flags, or in the clothing that you see in the different countries of like Africa. Timeless. This was the one I believe I combined this one here and this one, I think, these two, to do the other cover. And I really, really like how it turned out. It's one of my favorite colorings that I've ever done. I'm excited for you guys to see it when that book comes out, but I'm not sure when that's going to be. Power Clashing. It's funny how sometimes when colors don't go together at all is when they look the best. And this one is Extraterrestrial. Glamorous. We're kind of getting towards the, oops, I don't want to put it out of frame here. This one is Sophisticated. Active. It's got all the pictures of the running shoes and like the neon, the brights, the colors that kind of make you feel energetic. All these bright colors here. That might be the last one. And then this part I thought was really interesting. So personal colors, what do they say about you? And then it goes through and it tells if you like a certain color, you have these personality traits. And if you dislike a certain color, you have these personality traits. And I thought that was interesting because I don't always believe in those. But I really, really like yellow. And when I read what it said about yellow, it sounded so much like me. It just, I don't know. It just really, really sounded like me. Where it says, you love novelty and the expression inquiring minds need to know. Really express your inquisitive state of mind. You are a reliable friend and confidant and have high expectations that your friends, families, and coworkers are as well. You are optimistic, hopeful, and encourage others to do their best. So your friends appreciate your uplifting attitude. Your ambitions are often realized and actualized. You are inclined to see the glass half full rather than half empty, and you usually have a sunny disposition except for a very few bad days. And that is so me, I think. It just really, really surprised me how much that is. And I like orange a lot. I was reading about the orange and, good-natured, extroverted, a good disposition. You prefer to be with people as opposed to being alone. You are more agreeable than aggressive. People are drawn to you because of your warmth and energy. There are times when you will need to ramp down the energy level because being with you can be a bit exhausting. And I totally recognized all that in me. It just really amazed me. And it's funny too, because when I just first started coloring, I always reached for pink and purple because I always thought those were my favorite colors. But as I began to color, I realized how much I am drawn to yellow and orange. I never really thought that yellow and orange were colors that I would embrace. But since I've colored, I realized that yellow and orange are my go-tos, and I buy yellow and orange clothing. My makeup, I use yellow and orange in my eyeshadows and orange lipsticks and orange blushes, and I'm just very, very, very drawn to these colors. So it goes through all the different colors, and it tells you if you like them, if you don't like them, about how your personality is, and it just really surprised me how accurate it was for me. And I think we did it for Keith too, and it was pretty on with him. His was like blue and green are his favorite colors. So then it has color trends and forecasting, like what's, happening in the world as far as travel, fashion, beauty, advertising, entertainment, art, things like that. So I haven't read the whole book page by page, you know what I mean? I have not done that yet. But I've been using it, the importance of marketing, and your brand image and stuff like that. But basically what I got the book for was the color palettes and how, you know, they are attached to the mood of what you want to create. And that really appealed to me, because I'm a highly emotional person, and so it just really connects with me to seek out colors that want to convey a mood or emotions or something like that. So I'm really, really grateful that Deborah posted this book. I think it's super, super helpful. I'm very pleased to have it. And I'd never seen it before, because it's not exactly like a traditional color palette book like we see in the coloring community. Now, I will say, I still want the coloring cubes. I definitely want them. I think those are super helpful too, or would be. I don't have them yet, so I couldn't say for sure, but they have been on my wish list for quite a while now, and I really want to get them. But this has been extremely helpful to me for right now, and it's kind of been very eye-opening about the whole idea of connecting color with mood and emotions and what you are, the atmosphere that you are looking to put out in your coloring. So I just thought you guys might find this helpful. I did purchase it on Amazon, like I said, and it was, I think, $16.99. So what I'm going to do is I will place a link to it in the description section below. It'll be my affiliate link, but I just thought, I don't know. Just so you know, it's my my affiliate link, but it's just been very, very helpful. And I'm really excited for when those two books come out. I think they'll be out maybe like in mid-March or April sometime. I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, so I don't know. I hope this looks like something that might be good for you guys, or you'd be interested in it. And I really appreciate it. Leave any questions or comments below, and I will get back to you. And absolutely, positively, 100% happy coloring, my friends.